whatever your reason is, I would never let my politics be the reason I don't show up to see my family, because they won't always be there.
I'm going to disagree. I completely understand her point, because I really do feel that this candidate, President-elect Trump, is just a different type of candidate. From the things he's said and the things he's done and the things he will do, it's more of a moral issue for me. And I think it's more of a moral issue for other people. We're just, I would say it was different when, let's say, Bush got elected. You may not have agreed with his policies, but you didn't feel like he was a deeply flawed person, deeply flawed by character, deeply flawed in morality.
Like a lot of Dems called him deeply flawed and humanized him.
But you got to admit, they're very different figures. I mean, you along with Millie and along with John Kelly warned us about how deeply flawed he was as a candidate. And so I think when people feel that someone voted not only against their families, but against them and against people that they loved, I think it's okay to take a beat.
I don't have to like him
to... Bill, well, I think it's worth noting that while so many Democrats were surprised by that flip, not a single voter that we spoke to out here was surprised. They said, had people actually gone out into these communities like we did, spoken to your everyday voter, they would have felt their frustrations. These are daily issues that they felt only Trump was addressing, like the border right here and also inflation. The perfect example of this is Jacqueline Barrientos right here. We met her literally just walking on the street. She owns a bakery here in Eagle Pass in Maverick County, which is 94% Latino. It was her first time voting for Trump after soaring prices at the grocery store, which she needs to keep her business alive, and illegal migrants outside.
So it did affect us, because I have a business right here in the corner, right, on Main and Madison, and we would have illegals just like walking around. People didn't want to really stop because they were afraid. So I mean, with that being said, I think that Donald Trump is a better choice for more security.
And a recent clip from The View going viral saying it was misogyny that caused these border districts to vote for Trump. We spoke to countless voters, mostly women, who say that they were so offended by this. One woman we spoke to says that she is a mother of 7. She has 9 grandkids, and she can barely afford to have them for dinner. Bill.
Brooke, thanks, Brooke. Good to have you.
Because it doesn't matter to me, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. Even if you go out to eat, like at a restaurant or whatever, it's costly. Right now, you don't get anything for less than $15, for one person.
And again, she was one of the many people that we spoke to. These major issues like inflation and grocery prices. These people, real everyday voters, struggling just to get by, guys.
Really an amazing story. Eagle Pass, Texas, Brooke.
I'm sorry. When you have one candidate who has been running for 12 years, who lies and changes things, I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person, And my kid has to feed her family, and my great-granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there, but I also know that there are a lot of things that we just said, no, I'm just going to go this way.
Right.
And a lot of that is also what happened. I love what she did. Yay. We talk to people all the time who say, this is what's bothering me. But the thing that's bothering everybody should not be the thing that puts 85% of other people in danger.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're saying. We'll be right back.
Yeah, so allegedly, the executives at ABC are noticing how out of touch The View is, that they're not in touch with the rest of the country. And this report coming out is fascinating, the timing of it, because it comes out as we have reports of the ratings for CNN and MSNBC collapsing.
It's a busy news cycle coming off the presidential election. It's a time of year news organizations bank on having high viewership, with high interest in who wins the election and reaction to the results. But some networks are seeing their post-election audience quickly evaporating. According to Nielsen ratings, MSNBC had a big election night, bringing in 6 million viewers. But the days following the election, MSNBC's viewership tanked to less than 1 million. The network losing more than half of its audience compared to its average viewership in October leading up to the election. Friday also marked the network's lowest-rated non-holiday night of the year. MSNBC recorded a similar loss in viewership following the 2016 election after Trump's last presidential election victory. But the network rebounded, going on to have its 4 most watched years in its history from 2017 to 2020, as many news outlets were able to capitalize on Trump-heavy coverage with record revenue and subscribers. Following last week's election, CNN also hemorrhaged viewership. The network saw 5.1 million people tune in during their election coverage. In the days after the election, CNN's viewership also fell to 611,000, a 36% drop compared to its average viewership in October leading up to election night. Fox News saw a very different trend. While MSNBC and CNN were losing viewers, Fox News gained. On election night, the network saw over 10 million people tune in. And in the days that followed, Fox's total viewership averaged over 4 million, up 34% from its October average. That's also a 58% jump compared to its 2024 year-to-date numbers. While this trend shows left-leaning cable networks losing their audiences after Trump's victory and right-leaning news outlets gaining, there is one left-leaning talk show that is defying this trend. The View, seeing a gain in viewers after Trump won the election, posting its best week of ratings in over 3 years. The ABC daytime talk show averaged 3 million viewers during the week of November 5th, making it the top-rated daytime talk show. On the day after the election, The View had its most watched episode in over a decade, pulling in 4.5 million viewers, its highest since Barbara Walters' farewell episode back in 2014.